Hello again, guys. This is going to be a video about replacing a wheel bearing on a 2006 BMW 3 Series. In this particular case, the wheel bearing was loud and had to be replaced. In many cases, you have to replace it because the ABS light is on and the bearing has an incorporated magnet in it that might have gone bad, and you have to replace it. In many cases, when you go to a shop to replace both, the fact of the matter is, in most cases, it is actually the bearing, it is not the sensor. In our case, there was nothing wrong with the sensor. It was just a loud bearing and had to be replaced. So we're not really doing it the correct way, because as you see, we have removed the bearing from here, but the right way of doing it is taking off the whole thing, putting it on a press, and pressing out the bearing. Why we didn't do it this way? We live in upstate New York. You have a lot of salt, and every little bolt is rusty, and taking off the sensor would have, in 90% of the cases, mean getting a new sensor afterwards, because we probably have to heat it up and damage it. Same thing with the link, same thing with a few other bolts, including the brake cable. So we're just trying to save ourselves some money down the road by doing it this way. It is possible to do it this way. As you see, we've kept the sensor inside. Used a little drill hammer to get it out. You can use some other tools. A ball joint puller might work, might not. You have to finagle your way around it. It is not easy, but it can save you a few $100s on parts to do it. Now, if you have not done this kind of job before, do not attempt to do it. You will save yourself money if you let somebody who knows what they're doing do it. Because if you do it yourself, you're going to end up damaging a whole lot of things, and it's just going to cost more. If you have and you're handy, then this is a job for you, and this video is going to help you, by little tips. So first, the shaft has to come off. The bolt over here has to come off. It's got a little snap ring and everything that comes off on the way, just like any other bearing. Now, the tricky part is when you put a new bearing in, it has to go in with a certain side in, and I'm going to show you how it works. So this is the new bearing that we got over here. This is a factory BMW bearing, and you don't want to use any other bearing. It has a magnetic thing on one side. As you see, this sticks on over here, and this is the side that's going in to the sensor, and the other side is not going to be magnetic. So it is, as you see, there's nothing that happens. You buy an aftermarket bearing, you might have an ABS light on, and you'll just have to do the job over again. Pay a little more for the factory one, but you're probably gonna save yourself some headache down the road. When putting it back in, you can use the old one to put it back in, so that makes things a little bit easier. That's about it, but you have to make sure that this side goes in first. Like I said, if you buy a bearing that you do this, so you put a paper clip or anything and it's not gonna stick on like this, then you have a bad bearing, even though it's new. Hope this video helps you.